Hey, what's up? Joe in Vegas here. Another review. This one's special, man. The Killers. Oh, God, what a show. So, 2 second history, my history with the Killers. As if you listen to this channel, you know I grew up on in the 80s with the 80s rock and the 70s classic rock and all that shit. And like all of us, and most people, we have this like wall up that there's like, I don't know where the line is, but there's like the R music and then there's new music. And the Killers came in, God, I probably in the 2000, 2001 maybe, where in my head I always looked at them as one of those newer bands. Like, yeah, they're all right. I don't know, Mr. Brightside's catchy. I don't know. Didn't you watch the video? They look a little weird, look a little too modern. It's not fucking rock and roll like I like it. I want to see Slash. I want to see Steven Tyler, Motley Crue. They were just this metrosexual looking band, and but their songs were catchy and they've been on the radio. And I remember at the time I had must have been an Xbox game or something, when one of the baseball like games, that the song somebody told me, I think, which was the song, one of those songs were on like the credits, so it was always in my head. They were always in my head everywhere you went with Killers. When I moved to Vegas, I have two very good friends. I'll give them shout out, Noam and Michelle. They've always used to whisper in my ear, dude, you got to listen to the Killers. They're really good. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. They came to Vegas. This was probably 10 years ago. I remember it was at the Cosmo before the Chelsea, which is what the venue is there now, which is a concert venue. They had something called the Chelsea Ballroom. And it looked like a fucking ballroom, like where they had conventions, like insurance conventions. And there was this little stage. It was like it felt like you're at a talent show at your school growing up, and they played there, and it was packed, and it was all general admission. It wasn't any seats or anything. And I remember being in the crowd, and it was the first time I saw them, and I didn't want to go, and I was pissed that they dragged me into the pit, and I was squished and sweaty and hot. And 3 songs in, I'm like, this is a fucking great band. These guys are great. And from that day, I never stopped listening to the Killers. They are a constant on my playlist. I listen to them all the time. You get into their deeper stuff. They've consistently put out great album since that time. I became a Killers fan. I would say after all that, the rock and the 80s metal, the Aerosmiths and Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, all that stuff that I love, my favorite newer band, even though they're fucking 25 years old already, is the Killers. So since that time, I've seen them probably 4 or 5 times. Vegas is the hometown. This is their home show. There is a different vibe. There's no doubt about it. When they come home, they come home. And they are proud Las Vegians, whatever that word is. Their albums are named after casinos. This tour is called Imploding the Mirage. I don't know if that's the name of their new album. But it's... they are proud to be. He even said in the show, we've been wearing this Vegas. When we started in Vegas, we didn't know that we'd be wearing this flag of champions of the city. Them and Imagine Dragons and Panic at the Disco, I think, are like the bands out of Vegas. They are hometown boys. I've seen Dan Reynolds in bars in downtown. They are Vegas guys, and it's a small town. People know people. So when they come home, it's always this special vibe, and it was no different last night. Last night was an incredible show. I'll go through the set list, and you'll get an idea, especially if you're a Killers fan or not a Killers fan, because it's shocking how many hits they really have. So I started with My Own Soul's Warning, interlude, When You Were Young, Jenny Was a Friend of Mine, Smile Like You Mean It. I mean, those 3, boom, 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 really shot at the night. Running Towards a Place, Human is just awesome. Somebody Told Me, Fire in the Bone, Boy, which I think is their new one. It's actually pretty good. It actually sounds like Killers. Sometimes these newer songs don't sound like them. Pressure Machine, A Dustland Fairy Tale, which I love. I was so happy they played that. I don't know if anybody's listening to this and you haven't heard their version with Springsteen that came out, I think during COVID. Awesome. Look it up right now. I'll give you permission to stop my video. Go on YouTube, but don't fucking come back. You better come back. Go on YouTube and type Dustland Fairy Tale, Killers, Bruce Springsteen. It is awesome. First Time I Saw Your Face, Runaways, Read My Mind. Oh, God, I love that song. I love Runaways, too. Runaways, fuck, dude, I was loving this show. It was great. I had the right amount of alcohol in me. I hit a little jackpot on a slot machine, 1400, 1450 before I went in. So I was going in a good mood, and they deliver. He's so good. They're so good. They sound good. They look good. They check every box you want to check. Dying Breed, Caution, another. I love Caution. All these things that I've done, classic. And then the Encore came out with The Man. Great song, too. Great lyrics. I love the lyrics of that song. And then they did a Smiths cover because Johnny Marr opened up. I only got half of that set. Johnny Marr's good. Listen, if you listen to my Morrissey reviews, the Smiths has never been my type of music. I don't know. I never clicked with it, so I couldn't connect to him, and I was just so excited to see the Killers. But for an opening act, man, you can't do wrong with that. He was good. He sounded good. He looks like the fucking third brother from the Oasis band. He looks like a Gallagher, no doubt about it. Maybe their father. That'd be a funny little sitcom where he's the dad and they're the two kids and they all have the same fucking haircut. But he's a great opening act. He came on stage. They did the cover of the Smith songs, and then they blow you out the water with Mr. Brightside. I mean, I don't know if Brightside's got to be one of the best live songs to see. Just the tempo and what it does to a crowd, and when your whole floor of the arena is general admission and everybody's bouncing, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's why we go to shows. It's why I go to shows. It feeds you. It feeds your life. It makes you happy, and we all need as much happiness as you can get. I tell everybody all the time, that's why I go to these shows. They make me happy. They make me forget about life for a little while and just get drunk, hear some great music, people watch, look around. I always say, if you go to a basketball game or if you go to a football game, Raiders played last night here, maybe it's not 50-50 because it's a hometown show, but let's say 35% of that stadium is there for one team and the rest is there for the home team. If the home team is losing or getting killed, that's 75% or 70% of a stadium that's mad and pissed and angry, and that's 30% that's happy. If the roles are reversed, then you have at least 70% of arena happy, but you still have 30% negative, angry energy out there. I'm not an energy guy, but it's true. You feed off of energy. When you're at a concert, it's 100% happy, good energy. No one's mad, no one's pissed unless something's happening, which is why I get pissed when have that positive energy and you go see an asshole like Roger Waters and he's brings in politics and all this shit. Even like when I went to see U2 with Bono, like, and they're showing dead babies in Darfur in the background. I'm like, bro, stop. Just play the goddamn music. That's what we're here for. I don't want to bring outside world into this world because this is my little bubble and this is my little happiness and that's what I want. So shut the fuck up with the political stuff. That's my rant. Anyway, Killers out of 10. My only complaint, and it's the reason it's not a 9.9 or maybe even a 10, I thought the stage was too dark. It was just too dark, and I have two pet peeves. When you don't play all your hits, and they missed. They didn't do, Miss Atomic Bomb. They didn't do Spaceman. The way it was, what's it called? The Way It Was? What the fuck is that song called? The Way It Was. They didn't do a couple that I love, but they played so many hits. I'm not mad at them about that. They can't play everything. I get it. But my other pet peeve is when the stage is too dark. I want to see them. I want to see these guys. I paid money to see them. I don't get to see them. I can see them dark on YouTube, whatever. But when I get to see you in person, when the stage is too dark, it happened last time, a couple weeks ago at the Strokes concert. It was pitch dark. There was a lot of this stage that was too dark. So Brandon Flowers, you're a fucking charming motherfucker. You're a super talented guy. If you're listening to this, just turn the lights on a little bit, bro. A little bit. Give at least a couple songs. You want to go a couple dark songs like Human with lasers? Awesome. But dude, turn on the lights a little bit. You can do it. It doesn't have to be so dark. So that would be my only complaint. That would knock a point or two off. I'm giving it a 9.7. It is a hell of a show. I love the Killers. I will run to go see them every time they're in town. I would even travel to go see them. It's that good of a show. So 9.7. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, subscribe, comment if you see them. I want to hear your thoughts on the Killers. And that's it. See you at the next show. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.